Rise and grind, everyone. This is Shane with ReDesignYourGrind.com, and today we're going to talk about the pandemic a little bit. First, I'd like to go over where I've been and what I've been doing for the last 8 to 9 months. So in this video, I'd like to talk about alcoholism and my personal journey to sobriety. Obviously, I've grown this fantastic red beard, but now that I'm looking at it, I don't know that I really enjoy it that much. So let's go ahead and take care of that. Alright, that's much better. Look at that. I'm like a whole new person. Now I kind of miss it. But them's the breaks. I can only speak to my own personal experiences in the hopes that they help motivate or inspire somebody else. Even if nobody ever watches these videos though, this is very therapeutic for me in terms of just getting all this off my chest and just dealing with it in a very raw way. So obviously the pandemic has hit a lot of people very hard, financially, physically, mentally. I know in the beginning of the pandemic, I gained 30 pounds and lost about 30 pounds and then gained it back. So I've been all over the spectrum physically. I also got extremely sick a couple times. And of course, my brain and what's been going on immediately went to, oh no, I've got the beer bug. It wasn't the beer bug. What it was I was going through withdrawal symptoms because I decided to make a couple of very large changes in my life this year. I quit drinking, and quitting drinking for me was extremely hard. I've been an alcoholic for over a decade. I drank every single day. I didn't always drink to excess, but most of the time I did. If there was a 6-pack in the fridge, I would drink it. If there was a 12-pack in there, I would drink 12. And I could not control myself. I could not find the willpower or the sense of mind to realize the damage I was doing to myself and all the people around me. I went to the doctor when I first tried to quit drinking. And I went 30 days, a couple times in the beginning of the year, without alcohol. And each time I went through withdrawal. But I didn't know what withdrawal was, and that was extremely difficult for me to navigate. When I finally started seeking help, I started going to therapy once a week and talking to a professional. I started being honest and open about what I was going through and what I was feeling with all the people around me. Lauren, my partner, was the biggest source of inspiration and motivation for me to change. And I knew that if I didn't make these changes, I was going to lose her, and I was going to lose everything else in my life. I was going to lose Lauren, the love of my life, the best person I've ever met, and the person that has put up with more from me than she ever should have had to. I was going to lose our adventures. I was going to lose our business. I was going to lose myself. I was going to lose everything. And that was reinforced by one of my doctors that I went to when he essentially told me, physically, you're in good shape, but your body is having a lot of trouble, and I think it's due to your alcoholism. It was very difficult for me to wrap my head around that. I thought, how could that possibly be? How could I have really gotten so far down that path and not realized it? But essentially what it was denial. I didn't want to be true with myself. I didn't want to accept the fact that I had a problem, and as a result, I didn't go and seek help. Once I did, it made the world of difference. So I quit drinking and I went through withdrawal and I got very sick, and at one point I was in bed for 8 days. I could not get out of bed for 8 days. And a lot of things were going through my head. Because I quit cold turkey and I didn't go to any groups and I didn't get any medical help on the side to try to help with the withdrawal symptoms, I realized that I might be dying. And it did feel like I was dying. My body was making a significant change. Through it all, I was still trying to do all the things that I was doing before. We were still going on mini adventures. Obviously, social distancing was now a thing. So we had to try to stay away from other people. So we were going on walks and hikes, and it was physically difficult for me to do those things because I didn't have any strength. I got winded just walking up a set of stairs. I would need to carry a backpack full of water around to hydrate constantly because my body would not stay hydrated. My depression levels were through the roof, as was my anxiety. And I was just finally going to a therapist to talk about these things, but I hadn't worked through a lot of them yet, and I hadn't even made any significant ground. Now, several months later, I can look back and go, that was the single most important thing I did all year. It was the single thing that I did to bring me back at peace with myself and to get me back into a position where I feel that I can be the best that I possibly can be. You know, I'm an Army veteran. I knew about the dangers of PTSD and alcoholism. I've seen it affect others, but for some reason, it was never going to affect me, or at least that's what I thought. I knew I didn't want to live like that anymore, but I didn't know how to stop until one day I did. To keep from relapsing and make it stick, I had to focus on the things that were most important in my life. My relationship with Lauren. The fact that I knew my sister and brother, who were younger than me, deserved somebody to look up to. I wanted success, and I wanted to be happy. And at the time, I didn't even know what that meant anymore. I thought back to March when we had gone to Vegas for Lauren's birthday, right before the pandemic hit and everyone got locked down, and thought about how amazing that was, but how much more amazing it would have been if I hadn't been drunk the entire time. I started thinking about the thousands upon thousands of dollars I had spent in the last 10 to 15 years on just alcohol alone. I started to think about the relationships that I had ruined because of my alcoholism. All of these things helped me to realize what was most important to me now and what I had to do to become the person that I wanted to be. And coming to terms with it and doing some research and seeking therapy, talking to a professional, with an unbiased opinion, really did help. And the support network of people around me was instrumental in helping me make positive change. But not only that, I felt like an absolute hypocrite in the beginning of the year, because in the beginning of the year, I was doing 3 videos a week, which was taking up a decent chunk of my time. And even though I enjoyed doing it, I was trying to teach other people and inspire other people to make money as an entrepreneur, to go out and do whatever they're passionate about. And I just felt like it was completely hypocritical coming from me when I can't even make the changes that I know I should make in my life. So I've taken the last several months to come to terms with who I was as a person and who I wanted to be, and make significant changes to get me to where I want to be in the future. And that is what Redesign Your Grind is all about. It is about accepting things the way they are, coming up with a cohesive plan, and executing to achieve goals. And that's really all it takes. Determination, willpower, and tenacity. If you want to do anything in this world, you can do anything in this world. You have tools and resources at your disposal, but you have to do it. You have to be willing to accept the things in your life that you cannot control, but you have to be willing to do the work to change the things that you can control. And for me, I always wanted the do as I say, not as I do approach, but I knew that that wasn't a sustainable way of being. And so I had to make some significant changes this year. So we had to overhaul our business. I had to overhaul my personality and my physical being. And now I am delighted to say that I finally feel at a point in my life where I can give back and do the things that I'm passionate about without feeling like a hypocrite. My biggest point in this video is that if you or somebody else is struggling with alcoholism or substance abuse or depression or anxiety, please urge them to seek help. There is no shame in it. You are not weak for looking for help or asking people for help. And there are lots of resources at your disposal. A quick Google search. There are phone lines that you can call and remain anonymous so that you don't have to feel that kind of judgment. But really, just taking that first step is the most important. If you don't feel comfortable reaching out to a complete stranger and you're one of my friends on Facebook, or you just feel like you can trust me, absolutely go ahead and email me at ReDesignYourGrind@gmail.com, and I will give you a call or send you an email, and we can chat and we can talk. We can do a Zoom call, whatever helps you get to that point. I'd love to be a part of that, because there were people that helped me in my journey up to this point, and I understand the necessity for a support network. So Redesign Your Grind is back. We are going to be making a little bit of a tweak to the content. Instead of trying to teach people how to make websites through Shopify or build e-commerce empires and start businesses, that's not what my content is going to be about anymore. My content is going to be more about how to achieve your goals and make positive changes in your life. So if that sounds good to you, we will see you in the next one to Redesign Your Grind. Thanks for watching.